Hi guys, welcome to new day, new lecture on your favorite channel, New Wave Coaching Classes for Mathematics, and this is your host Jatin. Today we are going to discuss about a new topic, that is the pair of linear equation in two variables. But before we start about the topic, before we talk about how to simplify these things, let us try to understand what does the topic mean. So to understand the topic, we should break the topic in some parts. So let's see how to break it up now. Let's give a pair of linear equation in two variables. So I start with the middle part, that is the linear equations. Let's understand about the linear equation. We have discussed in the lecture of polynomials also, even in your class 9th also, that what is actually a linear equation. So when we talk about linear equation, we always talk about the degree of the equation. So when the degree of the equation is 1, it means that the power of the variables is 1, the highest power of the variable is 1, then the equation is called as linear equation, right? Now modify the term linear equation in two variables. It just means that the equation contains two variables, right? It can be any two variables, right? As you have learned in your class 9th also, that linear equation in two variables is something, if I talk about a general form, it is something like this. Here, it is ax plus by plus c equals to 0 with the condition that a and b are not equal to 0. Simply, if a or b, either of these two becomes 0, this equation does not remain as a linear equation in two variable. It will remain as, it will become as a equation in one variable, right? Now, when you learned about this thing in your previous class, you learned about the meaning of this equation on we can say geometrically or graphically, right? So what does it mean actually geometrically? It simply means if you draw a graph for this line, it could be any of these lines. It's not all of these lines, but it could be any of these lines. It could be any of these lines, right? So geometric meaning of a linear equation in two variables. I'm talking about only one equation, one linear equation in two variable. Geometric meaning means that it represents a straight line on the graph, and every point on the graph will satisfy the equation. So you must have remembered that when we learned about how many solutions can a linear equation two variable can have. So we learned that it can have infinite values. It can have infinite many solutions, right? So this was that was all about, you can say, linear equation in two variables. That was only one equation. But now we have a pair. A pair means two. We have two equations, two linear equations in two variables. So let's first of all write the the general form of the linear equation, pair of linear equation in two variables. So the general form would be here: a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals to 0, and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0. Pair a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2. These are all constant numbers. These are constant terms, right? And with the condition that a1, a2, b1, b2, neither of these are 0, right? So we take this condition, otherwise it will not be a equation with two variables, it will become an equation in one variable. Now, if I talk about the geometric meaning of these two equations, that is, if I draw the graph of the two equations, now what possibilities can I have? I can have three kinds of possibilities. Let's see what three possibilities I can have. See, the first possibility can be, I can have the two lines intersecting somewhere. It could be any point. So the first possibility is that they meet at one point, right? Then the second possibility can be they do not meet at any point. They do not meet they do not meet at any point. So when the two lines are not intersecting with each other, they are called as parallel lines. Two lines not intersecting in a plane, then they are called as parallel lines. So we can say that is they are parallel. And what could be the third condition? Now you must be thinking either they can be intersecting or they can be parallel, but we can have one more condition, and that condition is that the lines can be overlapping. That is called as coincident lines. So we can say they can be coincident. Right? So in that case, coincident lines means, see, parallel means one line is here, other is here, so these are parallel lines. Coincident means one is here and the other is just overlapping it like this. So these are coincident lines, right? Now today, what we are going to discuss about, this only, how we can draw the graphs and what kind of conditions we can get using or drawing the graph of the two equations, right? So let us start with the first exercise of our new chapter, that is the exercise 3.1 we talk about. So this exercise is basically meant to be done on the graph because we will be drawing the graphs. So to make the graphs, what are the things required? Obviously we require a graph notebook also, right? So what else we need? We need to write some points, or we can say we need to find some pairs of points for each equation, right? So let's see the first question of exercise 3.1. Now it's an age question. It says, Aftab tells his daughter, 7 years ago, I was 7 times as old as you were then. Also 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. We have to represent the situation algebraically and graphically. Algebraically means we have to draw we have to form the equations, and then we have to draw the lines for them on the graph, right? So let's form the equations first. Now, I told you earlier also, whenever there is an statement question, what you have to do? You have to break the statement, right? So let's see the first part. Now here are 2 persons. One is Aftab and one is his daughter, right? So what he says, 7 years ago, I was 7 times as old as you were then, right? So let's see, since it's an age question, so what we do, we suppose let the present age of Aftab is equal to X years and the present age of daughter is equal to Y years. Obviously, the age of Aftab will be more than his daughter. Now, what they say, the first condition says 7 years ago. Now, 7 years ago means we have to go in the history, that is 7 years back. So, when we talk about 7 years ago, the age will be less in that case. So, I write 7 years ago, age of Aftab. See, it's very important to write the statements properly because then it makes then the question makes actually sense. Otherwise, what happens? You can miss out some things in the question, right? So 7 years ago, age of Aftab is X minus 7 years, and age of daughter, obviously that would be again 7 less, so that is Y minus 7 years. Now, 7 years ago, what Aftab says, whatever was my age, whatever was his age, that age was 7 times the age of his daughter. So it means what we have, So according to question, what we have, that's x minus 7. Since this is bigger, this is smaller. Obviously, aftab is 7 times the age of the daughter. So we have to multiply the age of daughter by 7. So we write x minus 7 equals to 7 into y minus 7. So from here we form the first equation. So that is x minus 7 equals to 7y minus 49. Shifting everything on the left side. Obviously, when we shift from one side to the other side, the sign changes. So we have x minus 7y, then minus 7 plus 49 equals to 0, or we have x minus 7y plus 42 equals to 0. So this is our first equation, right? Now what is the next question they have given? They say also 3 years from now, means after 3 years. After 3 years, what they say? After 3 years. Now after 3 years, what will happen? Obviously the age will increase, it will not decrease, right? So after 3 years, age of after is equal to x minus 3 years, and age of daughter, this is plus, and age of daughter is y plus 3 years. Now what is the condition given after 3 years? He says, Aftab says that I will be 3 times of your age. So it means, therefore, according to question, what we have, x plus 3 equals to 3 into y plus 3. Right? So now what we do? Simplify the equation. So we have x plus 3 equals to 3y plus 9, x minus 3y minus 6 equals to 0. So this is our second equation, right? So now what we do? We just simply write the equations on one side, and then we form the solutions for it. So the first equation here, I have the first equation here is x minus 7y plus 42 equals to 0. This is the first equation. And the second equation, I get x minus 3y minus 6 equals to 0. So this is my second equation. So this is what I have got algebraically, right? So this is what I have got algebraically, the equations of the whatever the equations are formed in the question. Now the question comes, how we have to draw the graphs. So you just go in your class time, you must remember that when you have to draw the graph, you have to form some points, you have to find out some points, right? So I take the first equation, right? So some kind of box is made here. So what I do, I find 2 points for it. So if we take y equals to 0 here, if y is 0 here, we put y equals to 0, the value of x is minus 42. And when we put x equals to 0 here, we get the value of y as 6. So these are the 2 points we get. Then we can form same way, we can find out the points for the other equation also. So if I take y equals to 0 here, I get x equals to 6. And if I take x equals to 0, I get y equals to minus 2. So these are the 2 solutions, 2 points we get for the each equation. And then we can draw these points on the graph, and we can form the lines. So obviously the lines would be coming something, since I don't have much space here, you have to draw on the graph notebook and check it out. What do you get? Since the values are large, what we can do, we can just compress it out. This is minus 42. So we can take it as, suppose it can be taken as 4, minus 4, minus 8, minus 12, minus 16, minus 20. Let me do it again. since I require more values on the left side, so my left side should be a little bit longer. So I hope I will get this time. So this is -4, this is -8, -12, -16, -20, -24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. So this is -4, -8, -12, -16, and so on. This will be 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. This is -40, and this is -41. Obviously, -42 will be coming in the middle of 40 and 44, right? Now, on this side we have 4, 8, 12, 16. That is what is required. Same way we can go in the y-axis also. We can take it as 4, 8, 12, 16, and more values not required actually. Now we just plot the points. So this is -42, 0. So this will be the point where x is -42 and y is 0. And the other point is x is 0, y is 6. So this will be somewhere here. So what we do? We just join both of them and extend it. We need to write the equation also. X minus 7y plus 42 equals to 0. Now we take the second one. X is 6, x6, y0, and then we have x0, y minus 2, so it will be somewhere here. So when I join these two, so it will be coming here something like this. I want to be getting some straight line. So they will meet at some point. The two lines will be meeting. When you will draw on the graph notebook, you will get a more clear picture about this. So the relation is basically the intersecting lines. We don't have to find any solution here. We just have to represent them graphically. The solutions we will be discussing in our next lecture, right? Now let's go to the next question. Let's see what is the next question of this exercise. It's given. The coach of a cricket team buys 3 bats and 6 balls for rupees 3,900, and later she buys another bat and 3 more balls of that same kind for rupees 1,300. Represent the situation algebraically and geometrically, right? So since it's a question of bats and balls, so what we can do, we can suppose let the cost of one bat is equal to rupees x and the cost of one ball is equal to rupees y. So what is given to us? They say 3 bats, 6 balls. So according to question, 3 bats, so this is 3x plus cost of 6 balls becomes 6y, and the cost is given as rupees 3,900. So our first equation is this. So this is 3x plus 6y equal to 3,900. And then this says later she buys another bat. It means she has taken 1 bat and 3 more balls. So also x plus, since there are 3 more balls, so x plus 3y is equal to 1,300. So this is what we get the equations as algebraically. You can try forming the graph for the equations. So if you have the large values, you can obviously you can, according to yourself, you can choose the scale on the graph and represent them, right? So next we go to the third question. So when you will draw the graph of this question, you will come to know what kind of lines are formed. Either they are intersecting or parallel or they are coincident lines, right? We go to the next one now. It's given the cost of 2 kg apples and 1 kg grapes on a day was found to rupees 160 rupees. Now we have the case of apples and grapes. So what we suppose, let the cost of at the cost of 2 kg of apples is equal to rupees x we suppose that the cost of 1 kg of apples is equal to rupees X, and the cost of 1 kg of grapes is equal to rupees Y. Now what is given? Cost of 2 kg apples. So obviously the 1 kg apples cost rupees X, so 2 kg they will be costing us rupees 2x. So therefore 2x plus and 1 kg grapes that is Y equals to 160 rupees. This is our first equation. And then we have let's say 4 kg, that is 4x, 4 kg of apples and 2 kg of grapes equals to 300 rupees. So this is the algebraic form of this equation. You can try finding out the solutions for them and then representing them on the graph, and then you will come to know either the lines are intersecting or they are parallel or they are coincident line, right? So this was all about linear equation and how to represent them graphically. In the coming lectures, we will be discussing how we can simplify them by different methods. We can simplify them by algebraically also, and we can represent them graphically. Before I say goodbye and take a leave, I'm just leaving you with one question, and you have to give me the solution of that question in the comment section. Just note it down, the question, very carefully. If the cost of 3 pencils and 2 erasers is rupees 21, and the cost of 5 pencils and 3 erasers is equal to rupees 34, form the equations for the given statement, right? So this was some work for you, and whatever the answer you get, make sure to write the answer in the comment section. So if it is correct, I will be telling you if it is correct or not, right? So this is from my side. I hope you understand everything. If not, then try to watch the video again, and make sure to like the videos and subscribe to my channel. This is your host signing off. Goodbye and take care.